After 2 weeks ago, I made a poetry analysis video from William Blake. In this video, I will make another poetry analysis video from different poets for my final test from my lecture, Miss Ruiz. So, happy watching! Before analyze the poem, I will tell you a little about the poet whose the poem I will analyze. First, there is Naomi Shihab. She is a poet, songwriter, and novelist. She began writing her first poem at the age of 6 and has published or contributed more than 30 volumes. Her works include poetry, young adult fiction, picture books, and novels. Next, Emily Dickinson is a United States poet. She is famous for her poems in the past. Nearly 1,800 poems have been written to this day. She is famous for her poems which are full of test words and are unique. Let's move to the analysis. In the first poem, I will analyze the poem from Naomi Shihab. The title of Hidden, but I will read the poem first. Hidden by Naomi Shihab. If you place a fern under a stone, the next day it will be nearly invisible, as if the stone has swallowed it. If you tuck the name of a loved one under your tongue too long without speaking it, it becomes blood-sick, the little sucked-in breath of air hiding everywhere beneath your words. No one sees the fuel that feeds you. This poem is used to convey the theme that the distraction of all things, when given enough time, cannot be avoided. In this poem, there is the archetype of the shadow, can be seen in the first stanza, where there is a sentence: if you put the fern under the stone, the fern will not look like the stone has swallowed the fern. And that can be interpreted to be in the second stanza, where if we love someone but only we bury it, it will make us broken when the person we love has gone. Gender matter here. The poet conveys the message that if we love someone, whether a man to a woman or a woman to a man, our love something should be expressed rather than we regret and make distraction for us when that person or something has been lost. In essence, poets here as women are of the opinion that it's okay if women say their feeling first. The writer uses the decisions about this plot to support the theme by showing the audience the theme and letting the reader conclude it, and me as the reader concluding it that way. Correct me if I'm wrong. The title of second poem is I Felt a Funeral in My Brain from Emily Dickinson, and as before, I will read the poem first. I Felt a Funeral in My Brain by Emily Dickinson. I felt a funeral in my brain, and mourners to and fro kept treading till it seemed that sense was breaking through. And when they all were seated, a service like a drum kept beating till I thought my mind was going numb. And then I heard them lift a box and creaks across my soul, with those same boots of lead again. Then space began to toll, as all the heavens were a bell and being but an ear and eye and silence. Some string race rake solitary here. And then a plank in reason broke, and I dropped down and hit a word at every plunge and finished knowing then. Emily Dickinson is a woman who really likes to pour her feelings into poetry. Today, thousands of pages of freedom pour into idle poetry and make it one of the most successful poets in the American poetry world. Uniquely, the most dead theme works were only known to the wider community after she died. This poem contains the archetype of the self, It can be seen in the first stanza of the first line, I felt a funeral in my brain. The poet seems to describe herself. In this poem, the poet dies and she can see for herself the funeral. In the third stanza, it implies that the funeral she felt was actually her funeral. This is why she can't see anything, however she could feel it. And the last stanza, the poet is fully aware of what has happened to her. The funeral that she felt in her brain was her own. She was silent because she was dead. She is blind because her eyes are closed in death. She can hear and she can feel, but she is no longer a living, breathing human. This is a frightening description of the poet's death. Gender matter here as if women tend to use feelings and thoughts so that when she is too much burdened, she is easily discouraged and easy to think of death, as in the poem explained that blinded to death. Dickinson's poetry illustrated the difficulty of understanding mysterious thoughts and feelings that occur in people. Often interpreted as recording the descent of a nightmare into insanity, the poem can be read depicting the terror and powerlessness that accompany losing one's grip on reality. So that's my analysis. Thank you for watching. Sorry there are still mistakes. Hopefully useful. See ya!